fearless, you got fire. He's the spark that lifts you higher. You were made for joy, made for more. It's time to walk through heaven's door. The world is yours, take your place. Every dream aligned with grace. Overflow is your reward. Walk it out, abundance is yours. Oh, you can change it every time. Hope and faith, they realign. You're not stuck, not anymore. 'Cause girl, abundance is yours.
Hi, everyone. This is Julie Loughlin with Divine Abundance, and I am so excited to have Dr. Donna Marie Cozine of the Sister Leader Movement with me here today. Dr. Donna, thank you for being with me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here with you and your viewers,
Thank
listeners.
you. Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit about the Sister Leader Movement. Like, tell us where did that idea for that come up, and what inspired you to start that?
I love that question. It all started when I left my former position as a CEO or superintendent of a charter school that I founded, and I started being an executive coach for leaders. And I just felt this affinity to work with women. So I started really niching down to working with female leaders. And the Sister Leader Movement is my belief that as women, we are all sister leaders and we can support each other and cheer for each other and encourage each other and lift others as we rise, as opposed to, back 30 years ago, maybe even sooner, women were stepping on the necks of other women to try and get to the top. And we don't need to do that anymore. We can, reach out a hand and help people who have not been where you are navigate the landmines. And I found that by working with women, we could have real, true conversations about the 2 full-time jobs that we have, the 9 to 5, and then when we get home, all of the emotional weight that we carry. So I created the Sister Leader Movement, and there are lots of little parts to it, but I'm really thrilled to serve women and help them crush their goals.
Awesome. I love that. That's so exciting. And here at Divine Abundance, and I've said it many times with other guests that I've had on the show, we're very much more about collaboration over competition. So we can go much farther and a much more ease together, working together, than we can working in opposition to each other. So I'm so excited. Already knew that about you, that was a big part of who you were. So excited that you shared that with us. Because I've named the show Divine Abundance, a lot of times I ask my guests, what does abundance mean to you? And I know that this is different for every single person. So as you think about that word abundance, how does that ring true for you?
Abundance was my word of the year this year, as a matter of fact.
Ironically.
Yeah. And when I talk about women and we talk about what it means to be a female leader, I talk about being an empowered leader. And there are 4 steps to it. And the last one is compounding wealth. But when I talk about compounding wealth, it's really about abundance. It's about abundance in our relationships. It's about abundance in love, about abundance, of course, financial abundance. So abundance for me is really having everything that you need and more, and being open to receiving from the universe, from God, from the divine entity, to give you everything that you deserve and that you want. And I think sometimes when we, as people in general, like when we don't believe that that's possible, less comes our way, because we're thinking, oh, that's not for me. But when we open our mind and we say, like, abundance is for everyone, there's enough positive energy in the world that we can all have abundance. But as you said, abundance is different for everyone. Many years ago, when I was 27 years old and I was getting ready to become a principal, I was really driven by money. And now at 51, 52, I'm not driven by that anymore. It's important. I understand it's a means to an end, but for me, abundance is about having time with the people I love. Now, of course, money helps that, of course, to have that freedom. But for me, I changed the mindset from working, from living to work to working to live and doing
Yeah.
things that I really, really love and being able to go away with my family multiple times over the summer and really make core memories with my children because they're still young. They're 13 and 16. So for me,
Yep.
abundance is about love, relationships, travel, um, experiences, really.
I know that when we were chatting earlier, we're very much aligned in the thought that abundance is everyone's birthright, right? It's not just for a select few. And you and I have had this conversation, how important it is to believe in oneself and to believe in the fact that you can change your life at any point in your life. If you're unhappy with it or if it feels unfulfilling, you can make a change. I think you and I are testimony to that we have made big changes in our lives and we've evolved to the women that we are today. And I think it's important for us to stand in the gap to show other people that it's possible. I love what you said about abundance.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that the other thing is that there are two ways you can live life.
Mm-hmm.
You can live life by design or by default. And many of us are living by default. Like whatever happens to us, we're just responding. But when you live in design and you say, no, this is the life that I want to have because you're
Mm-hmm.
taking control and power over it,
Yes.
more things are going to come your way that are worthy of you, as opposed to dealing with all the nonsense that's not worthy of you. Because there's a lot of noise out there that doesn't deserve your
Yeah.
attention. But when we're living by default, it's getting our attention, and the things that deserve our attention aren't.
So true. Completely true. And sometimes we have to just block out the noise and say, not all this noise is for me. Like I've created the life that I want and I want to stay committed to that in the lane that I'm in. And it's so true. You can get distracted by the outside noises that are out there. Right now, as you think about from right now until the end of the year, what are you most excited about in your business?
I love that question because I was thinking about that on the way over, what we were going to talk about. And I launched this new aspect of my business called Sister Leader Press, where
Mm-hmm.
I help women write books to grow their business. And I actually launched it in November, and I currently have 20 authors, which, like,
Wow.
to me, that's unbelievable. Like, I have
Yeah.
women who are like, I'm all in. And right now, this is being recorded the end of August. I'm in the process of wrapping up like 5 manuscripts. So 5 new books will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So what I'm really leaning into the rest of this year is how to scale. All of my clients have come organically, which is a really good way in the beginning because then you understand like what's working. And I'm going to start doing some more to reach beyond my own audience to serve more people.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of kind of being a boutique publisher. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to, crank out 1,000 people a year. I want to work with a few people that I
Mm-hmm.
really believe in and, I can build relationships with. Just this morning, I was with one of my authors and she was upset about something. And she said she was worried about her launch because she wasn't sure she was going to have enough people to support her launch. And I was like, are you kidding? You're amazing. And what you're writing is, just,
Mm-hmm.
of course, people are going to support you. And she replied and she's like, that's it, it's official. I'm in love with you. You know what I mean? Like I'm able to have those great relationships with people. And I have 3 women who have written books before. And they said, I worked with a book coach before, but not like this, where you're
Mm-hmm.
holding my hand and helping me come up with this great product. So really bringing that for the rest of this year and foreshadowing for next year is bringing back the Empowered Women's Leadership Conference, which I did last summer, summer of 2024, which was amazing. So I want to repeat that in 2025. Again, a smaller setting, but really empowering women to become empowered leaders in their lives, to focus on abundance, to focus on the 4 pillars of empowered women, empowered leadership for women.
I love that. That is so exciting. And that I want to be a big part of that too. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be so fun. In your work with these women authors that you're currently working with, this group of 20 women that are totally amazing from what you've shared with me, and you've shared a couple of books that have recently been published, and I'm just getting into that now. So thank you. But what are some of the breakthroughs that you've seen some of them experience as a result of writing their book?
It is amazing, honestly. I'll give you a couple of things. A lot of them say, I've wanted to write a book for so long.
Yep.
And I just haven't done it because, I don't know what to write about. I don't know who to write for, etc. But to really see them and see them holding, like, here's one of my books, like holding one of the books that they created, like their baby, it is transformational because they are now an author, a bestseller, in multiple categories often. And it gives them that authenticity, that
Mhm.
gravitas, or, bona fides that other people don't have, that you can say, like, you are an author. And I think it elevates how they feel about themselves. A lot of
Yeah.
times, as women in general, regardless if we have a book or not, we're kick-ass. But we often, whereas a guy will go for a job that it says should require this, we'll say, oh, I
Mhm.
don't have that one thing. I'm going to check it off the box. I can't apply, right?
Right.
We look for the things that are opportunities to hold us back,
Mhm.
pushes you forward. It is it is an oversized business card, right? It
Yeah.
develops relationships. Whoever's reading your book, the way that we write it, people are getting to know you. You're developing a relationship with your reader. You're providing value. And if a person chooses to go deeper, they can work with me individually, with any of my
Mhm.
authors, right? If they write a book about real estate, there's an opportunity to work directly with the author. But if not, we're giving so much value in the course of this book that we're establishing ourselves as leaders in the field. And it's just amazing to see some people. And then as part of Book in the Weekend, they get a few months of support of how to use it as a book asset. And that starts coming back again. I had my book content or book call this morning, and one of the women said, well, I'm waiting for my website to be up. And I said, that's just your brain trying to protect you. You don't
Mhm.
need to wait for your website. So here's your homework. This is what you're doing
Right.
for next week. This is about taking action. If we're going to use
Mhm.
this to create a business or grow our business, we need to take action.
Yes.
And I'm really true about it. I'm like, you can have a six-figure business. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's consistency, and it's going out there and using your book as your number one business asset, which is why I choose self-publishing, because then
Mhm.
you own your book and you own what you can do with it. I went to an event last week. I was giving books away for free, although some of the women refused to take it for free and gave me money. But
Yep.
it's just, I think it's an amazing business asset.
I love that. I love that. And, I'm part of an anthology book. You and I have talked about that, Surrender to Rise. It's myself and 9 other women talking about, things that we've overcome in life, or for me, it was my big pivot to leave corporate and start my own business. But I have every intention of writing, my own book someday. Someday. I know everyone says that to you, right? Someday. The last 2 years have been a little challenging for me on the personal side with my family, but as I have more time and bandwidth, I'm opening myself to new possibilities. So tell
The
me, yeah, go ahead.
Look, quickly, the great thing about my program is that you actually have your book written in 3 days,
I know, book in a weekend, right?
in a weekend, and
Yeah,
people don't believe it. I'm like, no, it's true. I mean, if you're not done, I don't say forget it. No, we
yeah,
continue working. Don't think like after 3 days it's hitting the market. We still have
yeah.
to do, but your content is done in 3 days. There's a pre-event where we work
Mhm.
together, and then writing it. So when people say I don't have the time, if you could find 3 days, a Saturday, Sunday, and a Friday, you can
Mhm.
have it completely done. And it's like, check that off, because people will think it's going to take me a year to write my book. It's going to take me 3 years. Actually, no, we can do it in 3 days.
Yep, that's amazing. I love that you have this process nailed down and it's rock solid and it's working so well for the sisters that are involved in it. That's amazing. Tell me about what are some tools or things that you use from your prior life in education as a leader inside education, and principal and also superintendent, right? So tell me about maybe some skills and things that you learned on your path there that you now have integrated into your business.
Great question. In addition to the Sister Leader Press, I also serve as an executive coach to female leaders, which is keeps my head in the game, and it's
Mhm.
just a whole lot of fun. And my most recent book, which I don't have a copy here, outlines all of the things that women need to do to stay in this wonderful place of work-life harmony. So the things that I work now with and things that I've taken is the first one is project management, right?
Mhm.
Like you can live your life with like whack-a-mole where things are popping up and you're hitting them, or you can really manage your life and manage your responsibilities by your priorities. Because when somebody comes to your office or somebody comes to you or sends you an email and says you need to do this, that's their priority for you. But what's your priority, right? So
Mhm.
that was a big one, which was really hard for me to learn. It took me a few years to learn that because I felt like I had to fix everyone's problems and I
Yeah.
had to please everyone and I had to be everything to everybody. So that's a really big one. It's leading by my priorities is really important. The second
Yep.
thing is really this idea of if you don't take care of yourself as a leader, you cannot take care of anyone else. And a lot of the lessons that I've learned are through the hard way, are through, the tough way, winding up in the hospital, having emergency surgery and all of those type of things because I wasn't listening to my body. So, I talk to my authors and the people that I coach about like listening to what you need because
Mhm.
everyone else will tell you what they need, but really focusing on what you need. And the last one is really developing people and developing systems. So as I consider launching and growing Sister Leader Press, I'm going to have to hire some more people. Currently there are three of us. It's a book designer, interior, it's a book exterior designer, it's me, and I have one additional editor. I'm at my bandwidth with, 3 to 5 authors a month. So if I'm going to go and get more people, I'm going to have to develop a team. And that is something that I can take from my experience being a leader of a charter school to say, okay, what type of people do I want on my team? My
Mhm.
husband also is an entrepreneur. He's owned his own business for, forever. And
Mhm.
he says to me, hire the talent, teach the skill. The person that you hire, the person is more important than the other stuff if I can teach the skill. I mean, I can't teach someone to organize it, to do something that I don't know how to do, but
Right.
it's between somebody who's like all in on the sister leader movement and like, oh, I get it. And somebody who's like, yeah, I mean, I believe in that. I'm just here to like format your books. I'm going to go with the person who's all in on my movement because that energy,
Mhm.
surrounding yourself with team members who believe in what you believe and they're your hype girls and most of all my employees right now are women. So I guess that
Yeah.
makes sense, right, with Sister Leader Press, but they're the people who their energy impacts you. If you think about it, I know you left corporate and I'll draw the parallel with me. When I was a superintendent or even when I was a principal, the toxicity that people bring to you can
Mhm.
impact you so desperately that
Yes.
you are able to do it on your own. You need to divorce yourself from negative people, say thanks, but no thanks. I'm going to go in a different direction and surround yourself by people who make you a better version of yourself and you help
Mhm.
them make a better version of themselves. So I think those are the big things that I took from, my previous 9 to 5 to my work now as the CEO of my company and the head of the
Yes.
Sister Leader Press.
What's funny? I feel like this is an area that you and I are super aligned with is that network that we cultivate and curate very fiercely. We want certain people around us. It's people that are positive, loving, gracious. People like yourself are the type of people that I'm looking to continue to grow with. And I also want to embody that. So I also try to be that for others because that's what I want to reflect what I want to attract, right? And I think there's a lot to be said for that. I actually went on a what I would call a friend detox this year, and I really evaluated because my time became so compressed and I had very little time for outside activities beyond my business and my family that I actually decided really who needed to stay and who needed to go. I'll be honest with you. It's like certain people can bring energy and certain people can drain energy. And especially people that you think consistently are like negative are also putting you down. I don't think
Yeah.
that I have the bandwidth for that at the age that I am now.
Well,
That is something that I've evolved into because maybe 10 years ago, I would have still tried to cultivate or still nurture that relationship. But today, me of today is like, sorry, sorry, not sorry. Yeah.
100%. And, for women in leadership, it's hard because especially in school and district leadership, because we're public figures. So people
Yes.
think that we owe them their time. I was presenting in Indianapolis and I worked with these women for the whole year. And this was the
Yeah.
8th session. And I did a session called Not Everyone is Worthy of You. And
Hmm.
it's true. Not everyone is worthy of you. And, just because you work with somebody in your company doesn't mean that you have to be more than cordial,
Right.
and professional. Not everybody is worthy of your time. I don't love gossiping. I don't love
No.
hearing negative things. I'm just, it's good to go, like
Mhm.
let's talk about how we can up level ourselves. I
Yes.
think one of the things that you said, Julie, and for those of you who don't know Julie, she is a master connector. She loves to connect people. And
Mhm.
I find, and I think we were talking about this the other day, is that I do that as well,
Mhm.
but there are people who just are takers
Yes.
and they will take from you and then never reciprocate. So if I give someone a referral and they never refer someone back to me, then I kind of
Mhm.
think to myself, well, that's an energy thing, right? And if
Yep.
and if they don't feel like they can refer back to me, then I'm probably not going to refer to them, right? But
Right.
I always extend myself first, and then if
Mhm.
it doesn't work out, then it's lesson learned. I tend to be more trusting. I'd rather
Mhm.
come at it as presuming positive intentions from
Mhm.
everyone and be shown that I'm wrong than
Yep.
to assume everyone's negative, right? So
Right.
I think it's really important that energy piece that, you and I both talked about, like
Yeah.
who's going to be in your circle because their energy impacts you and you are known based on them. So if you're
Mhm.
hanging out with a negative person and they're like, oh my gosh, Donna Marie's hanging out with Alice and Alice is so negative, ergo,
Right.
Donna Marie is negative. Well,
Right.
you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
just
not necessarily. And just not the energy that you want around you, your family, your business. It's just not for you. It's not for you. It's definitely not for me. And it's been great since I actually went through that. And you know what I found? It made room for more people like yourself to come into my life. And sometimes it's just necessary to do that. You and I were talking before we got on the live stream or the stream right now about cleaning out junk in our house or stuff that repurposing things. And I think, we often forget that you have to do that in every area of your life. And I think that that's an important thing to consider. If you had to go back to 18-year-old Donna Marie,
yes.
what are some lessons, like maybe one of the biggest lesson that you learned, D- Donna Marie of today? What
Yes.
would you go back and tell her at 18?
So many things.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that I want to build off of what you were just talking about, because I think this is an important thing, is that people are with you for a reason and a season.
Yep.
And it's okay. It's okay to have a friend at 18 years old that's not your friend when you're 36 or 52, right?
Yep.
Like there's a reason that person's in your life. There's a reason you're in that person's life.
Hmm.
It's okay. It's okay to grieve when that relationship is over.
Yes.
But I was always the one trying to figure it out all the time. Like, why did that relationship end? Sometimes it just ends because it ends.
Yep.
That's one thing, right? The second thing is I always was a kid who never felt I was good enough. So I went to college and I graduated college in 2.5 years. And then I started teaching when I was 20. Like everything that I did was just quickened, right? I got my
Yes.
master's while I was working. I got my doctorate while I was working. I got my doctorate when I was 27, like while
Mhm.
working full time for 7 years. Like I would tell myself, slow it down, girl. Like
Yeah.
it's okay. You want to take a gap year? Take a gap year. I was
Yeah.
always on this hamster wheel
Hmm.
of trying to show everyone that I was good enough. And that follows me at
Yeah.
51 years old still today. Like that piece of, I'm sorry, my dog is barking.
Okay.
That piece of I am good enough. And are there people better than me? Sure, but who cares? Like
Doesn't
it,
matter.
it's not a competition because I'm better at some people and other things as well. And
Hmm.
the last thing I would tell myself is get into an exercise routine.
Hmm.
Find something that you love to do that you can do for your life. I,
Yes.
I was a swimmer, but I didn't continue like in
Mhm.
college and beyond. But I've never, like, I work out 3 times a week, but not because I like it. I just know it's like medicine, right? So if you can find an activity that you love, stick with it, because
Yeah.
so much of our mental health and our physical health is linked to the activities that we do. And
Mhm.
just be active. Just continue to
Yes.
be active.
So true. It's so funny that you said about being enough. For me, when I ask myself that question, it is you are enough just as you are. And so like that's very profound. I mean, it seems like very flippant, but it isn't. If you really ponder on that, I wish I could go back and be like, you don't have to prove anything to anyone, just similar to what you said, and you're enough just as you are. And the other thing that I continue to tell myself is you're never alone, that God is always with you. Those are the two things that I wish I could go back and tell my 18-year-old self. And then the other thing that you said, and this is so true, and it's funny that you brought it up because a few weeks ago, I had a very close friend of mine who's really successful, lives in New Mexico. She has an online dance, like Zumba dance teaching that she does all across the nation. And she got me dancing again. And I realized how much I missed it. Like for years, I just stopped dancing. I took dance, I was head of a dance team. I mean, for 16 years, dance was a part of my life. And then, life happens and you just kind of forget. And I do feel like that's actually something that I could do for the rest of my life. I have some injuries now, so I'm not able to do, I used to I'm an extreme person. So I'm like setting
Yeah.
of 0 or 1 million.
Right.
I don't have a medium setting. So if I was going to lift weights like I was a few years ago before I injured my knee, it was like at a high level. Like I was like, I'm going to lift every weight in this gym. And I could do that right at that time. But now my body's like, no, ma'am. Like those days are over. And that was only 5 years ago for me. Because of this injury, I no longer can do that. So now it's finding things that resonate for me, that keep me active. And I know how important being active is, because just watching our parents age will give you a sense of it's so important to stay active. The more active you are, the less likely you're going to encounter disease, honestly. So staying active is critical. And I'm so glad that you shared that with everybody because it's very important.
Yeah, I when I go to the gym, I don't want to say I hate every minute of it because I'm putting negativity. I enjoy being there with the people,
Mhm.
but I actually pay a trainer because if he's not there, I'm probably not exercising.
Yeah.
I just, whereas my husband loves the gym. He'll go all the time. It's
Mhm.
like, oh, if he doesn't go to the gym, he feels some sort of way. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, my fiance
But
is a fixture at the gym. Like people know him. They're like, "Oh my gosh, he's here all the time." I'm like, "I know." So for 3 years he trained me. And that we worked out together and that was great. And then my injury happened and then COVID happened and I got way off track. So I'm just now getting the time and the bandwidth back into getting into things. And I've loved this dancing that I do with Allegra and her group of people because it's so fun. It's like we get in, we get on, we just dance and we have a good time. We're all on video and we're just like cracking up but having fun. And we're working out. Like it is a tough workout. I mean, it's 45 minutes and I'm
yeah,
drenched after I'm done. I mean, dance is a serious thing. People that haven't done it before, they just think, oh, it's no big deal. Okay, we'll do it for 45 minutes and see how you're doing. So pretty cool, but I love that. Donna, it has been my pleasure Donna Marie, it's been my pleasure to have you here. Thank you for sharing all your wisdom with us. We'd love to have you back next quarter as you get ready for your empowerment event. So we could talk a little bit more about that as that comes closer. And we'll definitely keep a lookout for you and your sister leader group and the growth that you all have. So thank you so much for being here today.
thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
You got purpose, you got fire. He's the spark that lifts you higher. You were made for joy, made for more. It's time to walk through heaven's door. The world is yours, take your place. Every dream aligned with grace. Overflow is your reward. Walk it out, abundance is yours. Oh, you can change it every time. Hope and faith, they realign. You're not stuck, not anymore. 'Cause girl, abundance
We hope you enjoyed today's show on Prospera TV Network. Make it a point to visit us on YouTube and catch all your favorite shows anytime you want. Interested in hosting a show of your own? Or advertising your business on our network? Contact Elena Rodriguez.